Okay, so what does success criteria really look like in a classroom? Now, you can Google this, you can come up with a million different thoughts and ideas, but I'm just going to show you what I do, and then you can run with it. I really appreciated one of the new teachers that I've been working with. She voiced in our PD that she shares success criteria with the students, but she feels like she needs to be more specific, and that really spoke to me because it's something that I've had to go through as a teacher, is learning how to write useful success criteria. And I thought, why not share this wisdom with other people so that you can go above and beyond me. Okay, so let's take, for instance, I'm going to show you something that I've been working on. Okay, so we have been working on, in our 6th grade math classroom, box and whisker plots. And I am not expecting you to know what that is, but I'm going to show you an example so you can understand where I'm coming from. Okay, so, and you don't really need to understand the concept to understand where I'm going to go with this, okay? So we have these things called box and whisker plots that the students need to know for statistics. And there's a few different things that they need to do with them. So one of my learning targets is to be able to create a box and whisker plot, okay? So create a box and whisker plot. That is one of my learning targets. So by the end of this target, they should be able to create one of these right here. All right, that's really important. So that is my learning target. That is where I want to get them to. Okay. Well, the next question I have to ask myself is, how do I get them there? And remember the last time I was talking about the how, I drew ourselves a little pencil. And the reason why I draw a pencil is because this is where the work comes in, okay? So the how. How am I going to get them there? These are my learning skills. So what are the things that they need to be able to do? Well, first they need to be able to organize the data. So that's least to greatest. So that's the first thing they need to do. Once they organize the data, they need to be able to find the median of the data. Okay? Once they find the median of the data, they need to be able to split the data so they can find the lower quartile of the data. Once they find the lower quartile of the data, they need to be able to find the upper quartile of the data. Now, some of this is terminology you don't even need to know, but these are the skills that they need to work on. They also need to be able to find the minimum, and then they need to find the maximum. Okay? Well, in addition to that, that's just leading up to creating this thing. They haven't even created it. So then in addition to that, they need to be able to create a number line. And this number line needs to be created using their data, okay? Using their own data. So the data that is presented to them. Right? Not only do they need to be able to create a number line, they need to be able to place the data on the number line. So those dots, right? Place the data on the number line. And not only do they need to place those dots on the number line, then they need to be able to create the box and create the whiskers. Right? Just going to abbreviate that. They have to be able to do all of those things. So my success criteria for the day is based on all of this right here. All of these learning skills. Here's my target, in white, here's my yellow in skills. So maybe for today, we're not actually going to create the number line yet, but we are going to be maybe working on some of these things. Maybe we're going to work on organizing data, finding the median, finding the lower quartile, and finding the upper quartile. So when I create my success criteria, I would write it as, if I can, then I have learned today. That is a skeleton for it, right? This is not the end-all be-all. This is just the Carla Hernandez version of how I communicate what they need to do, right? And so in the middle, I would put these 4 things that they need to be able to learn how to do. You see those ones on the left with the check marks? So they should be able to organize data, find the median, find the lower quartile, find the upper quartile. That's what they should be able to do. And we talk about it at the beginning. They write it in their agenda. And as we go throughout the lesson, they mark off things that they're able to do. And these things are also in their learning maps within their interactive notebooks that they go and self-assess and tell me what level they're at, 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. So we're constantly using this success criteria. Right? Well, from that success criteria, and I'm going to say for a 100th time right now, this is my version of how to create things. You know, John Hattie may come and look at this stuff and say, well, that's you know, I want to add this or this, but I'm going to show you how I write my learning intentions, okay? So my learning intentions, these are important because these are like how you're going to get there. So I'm telling them what they need to be able to do. And what I'm going to do is tell them how they're going to get there. This is like your objective for the day. So I am learning how to create box plots, or box and whisker, same thing, by organizing data, finding the median, upper quartile, lower quartile through, we'll say interactive notes, because interactive means they're doing stuff, I'm doing stuff. This isn't just me standing up there giving notes, okay? Interactive notes. Why? 2, meet the learning skills. 4, learning target number 5. Okay? So I'm telling them what we're learning, how we're going to go about learning that, and why they need to do it. So I'm answering 3 questions within my learning intentions: what they're learning, how they're going to go about learning that, and why they're going to go about learning that. Now, this is still in the infancy stages of me planning, but I'm not embarrassed to tell you, what this looks like, what it's looked like for the last 12 weeks. And I feel like my planning is growing and my thought process behind it is growing because I'm very intentional. Everything builds on each other. There is nothing that is that sits alone in my classroom. Everything builds like a set of stairs.